Hi there, and welcome to Administrator and End User Interfaces. I'd like to introduce your Cisco Certified Instructor, Michelle Plum. Michelle will be joined by Kevin Wallace in this training, but let's begin with Michelle.
You need to have a graphical user interface or the command line interface to administrate all of the different pieces of your telecommunications solution. That includes the Communications Manager, Communications Manager Express, Unity, Unity Connect, Unity Express, and even Presence. We'll look at all these different interfaces, and then we'll take a look at how the user actually can administrate for themselves some key components like speed dials and who they're watching on their Presence capabilities.
In order to access, as an administrator, our communications manager, we need to get in via that graphical user interface. In order to do that, we need to use a secure connection, and it's HTTPS. Then we specify the IP address, and then depending upon which menu option we want to go into, we can specify that. For example, CCM admin. That gets you into that main web page. From there, there's actually a drop-down menu that lets you go between the serviceability menu, the disaster recovery options, and the operating system administration. You can also go straight to them by putting the appropriate CCM service or DRF or CM platform after the IP address to gain access straight to that menu option. Most of our configuration, though, is done in that main administrative page. This is where we set up our presence groups, our device mobility, our calling search spaces, music on hold, and there's just a list a mile long. So we're going to probably spend a majority of our time in that administrative page, but we'll also take a look at the serviceability and disaster recovery and operating system. Within the serviceability menu, we can get into our call detail records. And this is where we can view information about how calls are set up and really do some troubleshooting, as well as use these records for billing purposes. I always pick on like an attorney's firm. If you wanted to bill every time you made certain phone calls on behalf of a client, you could use your call detail records to look at the time spent for that particular client. We also can set up alarms and traces. This is great to give us